I'd like to show the gameplay of Steam Revolution in more detail than my previous videos, and show some progress I've made to Steam Revolution during the Christmas break. One of the changes is that towns and industries are now composed of multiple buildings. This gives a sense of life to the maps, and also has influence on the gameplay. The buildings in towns serve as obstacles that you have to go around, because you are not allowed to bulldoze those buildings. Goods can be delivered to and from any buildings in an industry also, and this has an effect on your station and track layout. In this test map, you can see industries scattered about that form some simple industry chains. There are 3 forests, a coal mine, and a coke oven. The trains that I'm using burn wood as fuel, and so I always need to stop by a forest to refuel. The coke oven can convert both coal and wood into coke, but coal is converted more efficiently. For simplicity, I consider charcoal and coke to be the same thing. The goal of this level is to produce a full quota of coke in the shortest time possible. I demonstrate a couple of different track and signal configurations in this level, so let's take a closer look. First, let's take a look at the central hub that the cargo is delivered to. What I'd like to draw your attention to is that the platforms are placed next to the train tracks. Workers scramble to load and unload the cargo. In order to reach platforms that are across the train tracks, the workers can cross over footbridges. You can see that it's possible to have a complicated and free-form design for a train station. So long as the platforms are connected to the industry, the workers can walk on the platforms to reach the train. Let's take a look now at the simplest possible line. In this example, there is a single train going back and forth between 2 different train stations on a single track. In this case, no signals are required at all. This example also demonstrates a new feature, which is that I added bridges. You can see that there is a bridge used to cross over the river. Bridges can be more complicated than in this example, and are allowed to have connections in an arbitrarily complicated network suspended in the air. My concern is that bridges are maybe too powerful in terms of traffic flow design, and in order to limit their power, I'm going to make them more expensive than tracks that are on the ground. In real life, bridges cost about 10 times more per mile than tracks that are on the ground, so I might use that as a reasonable starting point for balancing. The next level in complexity is to have a single bidirectional line. For trains not to run into each other head-on, the entire section acts as an exclusive block that admits only one train. When the line splits into 2 lines, the entry and exit are marked by one-way signals. Long exclusive blocks like this are bad for busy lines, but require less track and could be useful for smaller feeder industries that don't generate much traffic. The most efficient station configuration is a roll-on, roll-off, also known as a row-row station. Here, the sections of track that are used to load and unload are marked as an exclusive block. The blue signals indicate exclusivity. A yellow chain signal at the entrance to a station allows trains to choose an unused platform to load from. At the exit, there is an orange signal that allows free entry into the next block. Trains are allowed to freely enter a block of track that contains no junctions, because trains will not run into the back of another train that is on the same piece of track. You can also see that it's possible to have more than one footbridge for workers to cross. Workers will automatically use the shortest path between the industry and the train and use the appropriate bridge. The most complicated station that I show in terms of signaling is a 2-platform terminal station. Here you can see the yellow chain signals are used for both entry to and exit from the station. The blue block signal would actually be sufficient to guard the entry and exit from the station platforms, but I use the chain signal for another effect. Specifically, the light blue signal on the exit is what I call a clearance signal. A clearance signal will admit a train so long as the entire train fits into the next section of track, by which I mean that there aren't too many other trains backed up and preventing the train from fully entering the block. Combining a chain signal with a clearance signal means that the chain signal will only admit a train into the intersection if the train can completely clear the intersection. Thanks for checking out this video. Not all of the things that I have shown are newly developed over the Christmas break, but I haven't shown the game's mechanics in any detail before, so a lot of this is an overview of pre-existing mechanics. I hope you've enjoyed the video. I'll keep making new videos as I continue development of Steam Revolution.